It's huge, yeah. It is one of the coolest things I've certainly ever done in my life. So we as a team are incredibly proud of it. To contribute, obviously, adds to that feeling, of course, but ultimately it was about coming back as the winner, as a champion. So that was always the focus. That was never going to change. And the personal performance, like I said, helps, but that's not why we went there. You didn't go there to get man of the match. You go there to win the game of cricket for South Africa. So I'm just really chuffed that the result went our way. I'm not too sure. The ultimate goal in the second innings was just to get the first run. And then I said from there, I'll sort of tackle the rest and take the rest on. So it was obviously a thought in my mind. I think it's a thought in most batters' minds, but a pair in a final, I don't think I would have slept very well. So that was the initial thing. And then from there, it's just about staying in the game. I've said it that conditions did get better for batting. The sun was out, which makes a big difference in the UK. And once we got through that initial sting of the new ball, it felt like we could actually occupy the crease and we could transfer some pressure back onto them. So that's pretty much where it was at, and just try to do that for as long as we could. My thing was under 10 runs. I mean, I was joking with the boys now saying Vedas came in and I think he hit like 2, 3, maybe 4 shots out the middle straight to the fielder. And I'm with the non-strikers and going, come on, just hit a gap, because that's like 10 to 15 runs and that's pretty much kills off the game. Everything's high emotion in the moment there, and I knew once it was sort of under 10, I felt safe and a bit more calm and at ease. It's very hard to compare the two, that's the thing. Heaps more at stake this time around, but similar sort of feelings of relief and obviously happiness as well. So there were similarities, but yeah, this time around it still felt a bit different, obviously knowing what was at stake and how much it meant to the bunch of boys in the change room. So did feel like it was a bit more on the line this time, but yeah, I suppose it can be a full circle moment for sure. I actually didn't say anything to him, to be honest. He just walked past and said, I'm going to continue. Do you think that's fine? I said, of course it's fine. The partnership was always the key, and there was still a bit in the wicket at that stage, and the role was just to extend the partnership for as long as we could, because we knew at some stage it was going to get nice to bat on and we could then go chase the runs. So massive effort from him to do it pretty much on one leg. I still remember us going back out and I was like, obviously no quick singles, right? And he said, no. I'll call it. I said, cool. And then he's the guy that keeps running back for 2 and keeps running back for 3. So I think he was so fully invested in the moment that adrenaline carried him. But yeah, massive effort from him. Yeah, I think on day 3 I was emotional about how things had worked out once I got back into the change room at stumps. But yeah, I'm trying to get into the habit where you actually in, not out. I keep on getting close and then giving it away. Even if the game is done or not, if you want to, I mean, that's what the best players do. So that's sort of what you strive to try to do. So I was definitely disappointed, knackered, tired, bloody happy, all of the emotions in once. So yeah, it was, I mean, you reflect back and you go, it was something really cool and special to be out there and do. But I think me being me, always trying to strive for something better and get angry at yourself for no reason. Yeah, I don't think 23 World Cup once, to be honest. Now that you bring it up, it's a great point. Yeah, I mean, I remember that wicket in the 23 World Cup. It was nipping around and it was fell over this table and nothing made sense to us. And yeah, very strange. But I suppose now, in hindsight, it's nice to get one back.
Yeah, Aiden, it seemed quite fitting that it was you and Temba who had the really long partnership to break the back of the task. Obviously, you've been co-captains and you dovetail really well as leaders of the Proteas. Just tell us about your relationship with Temba and how that sort of fed into that partnership.
Yeah, I think the relationship allows the partnership to sort of do something like that. We get on really well. I think we think about the game in a similar way, and we know of a standard that's needed to win in whatever format we're playing, and that's the standard that we try push together with a few other players, so that we know the team can hopefully achieve something cool. So get on really well. Obviously, when you watch his cycle that he had now, and how he was always the guy in the tough moment, that inspires you as the individual player, and you then want to follow because he's the captain. So there's all those sorts of things that come with it, but the relationship's always been good. It's always been honest, and I think it makes a big difference for the both of us.
To play such a momentous innings on such a big occasion, such a big stage, do you feel that maybe you underestimated yourself a bit, what you're capable of, or do you feel like all of us have underestimated you?
No.
A bit?
I never once thought of the end goal, to be fair. So I think that helped me this time around. Like, obviously, you want to do so well that your focus becomes a lot on the outcome, and you don't really take care of the moment. And before you know it, as a batter, you're out, and you're like, "Geez, now it's done again." So, yeah, I never had the plan of being the guy like that. It was more just about taking the sting out of the new ball. That was a small challenge, and then prolonging the partnership with Temba. That was another small challenge, and then 10 runs at a time, tick them down, and then you get close and you achieve something cool. So that's pretty much where it was at. But yeah, I don't know who underestimated what, but I'm still surprised at it. Yeah, wasn't too much said. Again, like Shooks has mentioned, naturally when we do speak, we just speak about how can you get the job done in the second innings in your next try. So we sat on the side, obviously, especially when you make a duck, you sit on the side for a long period of time and you watch our batters go and you watch their bowlers bowl and you kind of work out what they're trying to do. And then we just have discussions on the side, thinking how we could combat that and then how we can put pressure back on them. So that's pretty much the discussions that we had.
Just how much do you think of yourself as an all-rounder?
In the white ball space, a lot. It doesn't have to be 10 overs with the ball, but it can be a few overs here and there that can make a difference on the day, especially if conditions allow. With our bowling unit in red ball cricket, to be very honest, I don't really ever see myself having much of a role. That changes then when you go to the subcontinent, of course, and maybe you can get 5-10 overs if the wicket's really spinning and stuff like that. So always training my bowling, always trying to get better, always speaking to Kesh, who can help me quite a bit from a bowling point of view, and yeah, just plug away at it, and if things can happen from there, then great. Yeah, well, I'm working on both skills just as hard, but I know my massive role in the team, especially when it's red ball cricket, is to make runs.